Hey guys! Welcome back to Likewise Pod. I'm Issa.
And I'm Sam, and we're so excited for another episode this week. This is our first time having a guest episode since the great comeback that we've been talking about for weeks now. But we have our good friend Bailey on today, so Bailey, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name's Bailey. I'm a big fan of the pod, so I'm excited to be here. Just a little bit about how I know Sam and Issa. I worked with Sam on the Panhellenic Council, and Issa was a Rogam, and we just had the best time going through recruitment together. And yeah, that's kind of just me. I'm here.
We love Bailey. We've been wanting Bailey on for so long. I feel like we've kind of alluded to wanting her on, be like, oh yeah, we have friends who we really want on months and months and months ago, and Bailey was one of those people.
Oh, I'm flattered. I'm flattered.
It's one of those things where I feel like it was ever since we came back in person, we knew we wanted to, and I feel like I had texts with Bailey about it at some point, but it was very it was just an idea. I think it was on a Zoom chat. I'm not gonna lie. I think I messaged her on
I think you
Zoom
also
chat
did
in the middle of a pan meeting about it.
We were completely talking about something not related, and it just came up when we were talking.
That is so funny. I kind of forgot about that. But so it's been a long time in the works, because obviously then we fell off the face of the earth. So now that we're back, we finally get to this episode. Very long awaited.
We are so stoked that she's finally here, and that we're finally doing this and sticking to our commitments, being accountable. But before we get into the really great content we have, I think we should start with the roses and thorns for this week. Sam, what were your roses and thorns?
Okay, I'm kind of winging it this week. I didn't write anything down. But my thorns, most definitely that I had a migraine that started Saturday morning and did not go away till some point yesterday morning. So it was all weekend. And of course, we had a little girls' weekend, so that's gonna be part of my rose. So sneak peek. But it was hard to not let that put a damper on my mood, and I felt so bad because Issa and I had plans that afternoon, and I bailed because I was I think I might throw up because my head hurt so bad. Anyways, speaking of Girls' Weekend, my rose, we had our good friend Kenzie, who has actually been on the pod before. Throwback to episode 4. And she came and visited, stayed at my apartment this weekend, and we did one last girls' night with our original sophomore year friend group in our sorority. There's 6 of us. We all just had a little sleepover without the sleepover part until 1, because we feel we're just old now, and it's I don't know, we don't all want to sleep over because we all want our own beds.
Yeah. Retweet.
Yeah. Yeah. We're okay, Kenzie's already staying on our couch, so where would the rest of us go?
I know. I was if I have the option of my bed, maybe a mile away.
I'll always choose my bed.
Yeah.
My bed is
literally.
my bed.
But it was so fun. We just played games and talked and just reminisced, and so that was really fun. Oh, and on Sunday, Riley, my roommate, and I, we went to the our chapter's recruitment workshop because they asked a couple seniors to come and talk about our journeys in the chapter and inspire the people who are going to be recruiters next year to think about their Tri Delta stories and have those things they can tell PNM. So that was kind of fun to just go and I don't know, talk about how much I loved the chapter. So yeah, that's my roses and thorns. Bailey, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. Let's see. Okay, well, I have a very clear thorn. Usually that's not how my week goes, but it is snowy here, and it is April, and I am a warm weather person, so I'm not quite vibing with the snow, but we're making do. I'm learning to adapt. I thought we had gotten rid of it. I thought it was gone. So when it came back, I was a little oh, okay. But then my rose is actually that I went on a backpacking trip with our friend Natalie this past weekend in Oregon, And it was really, really, really good to disconnect because I feel like I am a phone gal through and through. Just being interested, like I'm a communications major. I'm doing a double degree in public relations and risk and crisis communication. So I feel like being in that field, I'm always on my phone. I'm always checking my email. Like I'm always doing stuff. So even though the backpacking trip itself, like there were some roadblocks and some bumps in the... It was not maybe the best backpacking trip I've ever been on. I had great company and I was like fully unplugged and like in my element in nature. So that was definitely my rose. And then my bud would be looking forward to graduation, which is really only in a few short weeks, which is scary.
Oh my gosh. That is horrible.
It's like, terrifying. And then the snow makes it feel like it's winter again. So it feels like the semester should not be close to over when there's snow on the ground.
It feels like it shouldn't be spring semester.
Literally.
The worst. Okay. Well, I always write mine down so then I can, like, limit myself, but then I always, like, add to it. So we'll see. My thorn for this week is just that, like, it's going by so slow. But also, like, so fast at the same time. Like, fast in the fact that, like, I have so much to do, and I feel like I don't have enough time to do it, but also, like, slow in the fact that the days just kind of, like, drag on and on and on, and, like, just will not end. Also, only a week and a half left of being an active member, which is, like, so sad to think about. It's like, oh my gosh,
You're
this has been 4 years, like, only being inactive for another week and a half. And then we go through circle degree on the 24th. So, that's fun.
Very sad.
Yeah, but, like, I'm also excited. So, we'll see what being an alum...
Alumna?
Yeah. I don't know the right
Alumni.
words. Yeah, I don't know
Alumni.
which one is, like, right. But yeah, so that'll be fun. Also, don't know how many people watch this. I know Sam did. She reminded me about it. But, like, the Ultimatum finale and reunion on Netflix came on Netflix at midnight last night. And I watched it at 1.5 times speed, of course. And honestly, it kind of sucked. Like, I made my predictions before, like, for all the couples and stuff, and, like, I got them all right. And then the reunion, it left me with so many freaking questions. I'm like, the reunion was pointless.
Yeah, no, the reunion also made the timeline not make sense at all because I know that filming wrapped last March. And then there's like one person on the reunion said that
Jake said it's been 6 months.
And then this girl then this other person is like 7 months pregnant. Not to like spoil anything.
So should I watch this show?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I'll do after this.
Yeah.
No, you will spend the entire time watching it like being
Just
mad,
so,
like being frustrated.
honestly very confused.
It's like I would never put myself in this situation.
And like one thing that happened like during the big fight, I was like, whoa. Like I was like, that person is very different from what I thought they were, and I was just like, some people grew and other people I guess did not grow. I don't know. Anyways, don't want to give it too much away, but yeah, watch it. It's good, but it's like frustrating, but whatever. And then my roses, like, kind of like what Sam said, like, spent time with friends over the weekend, had, like, a girls' night, we played We're Not Really Strangers, and, like, one of the last questions we asked was, like, what is one thing that you'll take from this conversation? And, like, my answer was, like, I just love that no matter how much I think I might know about a person, like, one of my friends, like, there's always so much more to learn and, like, to find out. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't know this about you, or, like, all these things, or, like, I didn't know this about myself, like, thanks for pointing that out, you know, all those things, and it's just so fun. And like Rachie P, she pointed out, like, she's like, even after like all this time, like every time we play this game together, like you can see the growth in each one of us. I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, that's so good. So shout out Rachie P for that one. Also, Bailey can relate to this one, but my Lady Summer Forever ticket. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like when they're like big news on Monday, I was like, everyone knows, like, it's a tour. If it's not a tour, then I don't know what the big news is.
I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't a tour. It's funny because, like, I woke up to get the tickets and I was like, I know there's one person on the planet that is also doing the same exact thing as me right now. And I was like, did you? And you were like, yeah, did you?
Yes. So, catch us in Seattle. Last show of the tour, which I'm stoked for because last show, best show. Hoping they pull out all the stops on those Muckleshoot Plaza steps.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Weather better be good, or I'm gonna have some trouble.
Yeah, I'll probably cry either way.
Same. I'll be there. I'll be there either way. It could be snowing. I'll be there.
Yeah. No, and then Paul on his story, he's like, "I'll be at every show." I'm like, "Yeah, you freaking better." Anyways, okay, now I'm done. Yep. Okay.
Well, we are just so excited because we have so many things that we can talk to Bailey about. And we may or may not have been talking already for like 40 minutes before we even recorded.
As per usual.
You know, classic likewise move. But originally when we wanted to have Bailey on a long time ago, we wanted to talk all about like women in leadership because at the time, Bailey and I were both on Panhellenic. But now we're like super interested in like an ongoing research project fun thing that Bailey is doing that Issa and I don't know a lot about. Like I know quite a bit about the topic, I feel like, because I've watched a lot of videos about it, but
I have not.
Issa has not.
So this is a learning experience for me too, which I'm really excited to hear.
But like I don't know about like any of what Bailey has learned and done with it, so we're really, really excited. So, just to kick it off with some questions, just give us a little background about your project and like what inspired it.
Yeah, so it's a pretty ongoing project, and I will say, like, as far as school projects and research goes, it's very much the beginning of one. I still am left with like a lot of questions, and it's inspired me because I've decided I'm staying for a master's program, so I feel like I've finally found my place in like knowing that research is something I really enjoy, which I don't think I would have predicted, but now that I've like gotten into it and gotten involved, it's something I really like. But I basically just I have the opportunity to work in an independent study environment with one of my professors, and so there's an undergraduate showcase for research and creative activities here. And I knew I wanted to do a project for it, but that was like the baseline. Like if you were wondering where I was in January, I was just like, I want to do a project. Like I would like to learn about something.
Yes.
And so I chose to begin, and again, it's still in its beginning stages, so it's not quite where like it needs to be yet, but it's kind of just an ongoing project. I did present the preliminary research at the undergraduate research showcase. But I wanted to study the that girl trend on TikTok, which it sounds like, Issa, you haven't seen that content.
No, I have not.
And Sam, you have.
Me trying to explain it to Issa was so funny too. I was like, I'm sure Bailey could give you a better rundown.
Well, so it's really interesting to me because in my head, I was studying something that was a huge trend because it's all over my For You page. Mm-hmm. But after like doing some just like, not even like official research, but just like when I was coming up with my topics, I had a lot of different things I wanted to like learn about, just asking my roommates and stuff like, hey, have you seen this? Like, not everyone is getting it. So then I was like, oh, this is interesting. Why am I being targeted with this trend? And I think TikTok's fascinating. I think the algorithms.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, I don't know how you even begin to like understand what.
Like I don't know, like the For You page has always been like so fascinating to me because it's like, oh, like nothing else like really has, like Twitter kind of with like following like these topics, or like Instagram Explore page, but it's like, I don't know, TikTok's different.
It is. It's definitely fun, and honestly, like, so I think being female and like heavily identifying with being female, looking at like trends that are like influencing us to act or look or be a certain way have always been of interest to me because I know the younger version of myself was really susceptible to following those things very closely. And so it was really interesting because that girl is kind of new in the way that it like really focuses on self-care outside of like a male perspective. But I just wanted to study how it's impacting people and kind of understand the layers of like how these female stereotypes come to be in the first place, because I don't know, a lot of them are not very inclusive. So hopefully that gives a good background, but I'm sure I can answer more in further questions.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like I relate to that a lot because I feel like it's been on my social media for a while now. And at first it was always like something I mainly saw at first when I would be like on like the TikTok account for like the magazine that I work for and like do social media stuff with, because I used to do a lot on our TikTok last year and earlier months, whatever. So I'd go on it, and when I'd be on like that For You page, I'd see so much of it because we mainly at the time had only followed like some like women in business, and like that's like the kind of like hashtags we were using. So it's interesting to see like that purely being the entire For You page of that account. And I would like things and save it and think it was like cool, and it was very Pinteresty. It was almost like you're bringing Pinterest to TikTok, and that's what it felt like. And then it came on my own, but shortly after it came on my own, I instead wasn't seeing videos like promoting that girl. I was only seeing videos of people talking about like why it's harmful and like it not being good and to like not follow the trend or whatever. So then I was like, okay, wait, this is really deep. So then I intensely watched like YouTube videos of people talking about it for like 40 minutes.
It's big in the YouTube world too, which I'm like
big.
specifically studying TikTok, but I'm curious about everything. There's only just so much you can do within like one class during one semester as an undergraduate student. So like I'm kind of hoping to take what I've learned here into my master's, but also for anyone listening, I feel like just to give like the quickest overview, that girl is kind of it's a stereotype that is promoting, or you could call it an archetype that kind of gets into fancier wording. But for easy language, like it's just kind of like a stereotype representation of somebody encouraging women to be their best selves, which I say that in quotation mark because it's encouraging very strict, like, you should get up at 5 or 6 and you should work out, and then you should make a healthy breakfast, and then you should drink 64 ounces of water, and then you should do your work, and then you should make your bed, and then you should do all of these things that sound so good on paper. Like, they would make you feel fulfilled and accomplished. Also, like, promotes a really, like, in-depth, like, skincare, like, health routine. But then I think that just left me feeling like, okay, well, how are people supposed to treat themselves when they can't get all of this stuff done in a day? I mean, in an ideal world, I would wake up at 6 and just, like, be an absolute beast and, like, hit the gym and, like, write all my homework right away and, like, drink all this water and, like, be fantastic. But that's not really, like, what people do. So it's interesting because it's, like, a healthier trend. Like, it's definitely healthier than, like, I'm trying to think, like, we used to have the cool girl, which was like, that was all about getting male attention. Like, I'm not like other girls. I'm a cool girl. I'm this, I'm that. And like, that girl doesn't really do that. That girl is very like focused on bettering herself. So I think it's a healthy step. But I don't know, I'm nervous about what kind of like detrimental impacts this might have, especially on a younger audience. So it's very intriguing.
Yeah. No, I think like, I mean, just like learning or knowing as much as I do, which is very limited, about it, like, about that girl. I haven't really seen so much of, like, that side of TikTok, but I've kind of seen it maybe in, like, the influencer side, like, seeing, like, all these influencers being like, oh, like, get ready with me, or, like, here's what I do in a day, or here's, like, blah, blah, blah. So it's not, like, so it's not, like, explicitly saying, like, okay, here's how I'm that girl, or here's how you can be that girl, but, you know, it's, like, an influencer, so it's, like, oh, you want to be like an influencer because you follow them and blah, blah, blah. So I think that's really interesting too.
Yeah, I like that you said that, because the thing that I always think about it is whenever I see like the videos of like, even if it's just like that girl aesthetic or like that girl routine, it's very much, I feel like it plays a lot into the influencer lifestyle, because it'll like do this whole daily routine that for a lot of people is only achievable on like the weekends, because it ignores like a regular work day or school day, and it's very much that like that influencer life of like not having a 9-to-5 job and like, or things like that, which obviously there's nothing wrong with wanting a 9-to-5 job or not, but like it's very much kind of like, I feel like it sometimes isn't reality for the majority of people, kind of what it seems like to
And
me.
like most of the ones that I see, I follow like all the Mormon Hawaii families. So maybe that's why I'm Mormon TikTok. But like seeing them, it's like, okay, like they talk like, oh yeah, like this, like social media, like I'm super, super grateful that social media is my job because I can spend like 24/7 with my family. I'm able to do all these other like projects. I'm able to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then they're also like, okay, now I'm gonna get up at 6 a.m, go do CrossFit, and then I'm gonna have like a smoothie bowl for lunch, and then blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so much. Like,
It's really, I like the point you bring up too, which is just like, I think what also intrigued me is just like, I am trying to be a better person when it comes to equity and equality and diversity and inclusion, because I feel like that's an area that we can always try to be better, and we find ourselves just like getting caught up in this, well, this is like healthy, so it's fine. Or it's like, okay, well, with that girl, like you can pick apart all the different elements and talk about why it may not be accessible to people, especially if you're younger, like if you're in high school or if you're like nowadays like middle schoolers and elementary schoolers are like on TikTok, and like that's why we're seeing like age progression kind of change, because like the maturity progression is like being bumped up a little bit, because of course younger women are gonna like look up to these older women and want to be like them. But you could pick apart any part, I feel like, of that girl and be like, is that inclusive? So for example, like her skincare routine, like I know I don't have tons of money on a college budget to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy all of these 20 products and like have them beautifully laid out on like the most beautiful, gorgeous like stand ever, and like have all of the decorations I want. Sorry, there's a loud car outside.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That was very chaotic.
I'm kind of curious what they're doing. Interesting.
They just kind of do that a lot.
Love it. But yeah, I think it's just, you know, but it can be helpful. It's like kind of inspired me to like take better care of myself too. So it's kind of a toss up.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that it promotes like healthy goal setting, and like, oh, like it's good to like strive towards these things. I also sometimes think it like plays into like it's like habits and things that are like goals that a lot of women share that are different from like those typical things that I feel like men have like shamed women for liking. Does that make sense? Like, you know, like things being basic, it's like, oh, of course you like want Starbucks, of course you want this, like all these like things. But I feel like self-care and routine is a very universal thing that like you can't be like, oh, that's so like, of course you like these things, you're a woman in her 20s. So like I don't know, it just makes me think it's kind of like an opposite end of like it's trendy, but like you're not going to be shamed for it being basic.
Well, and that's something
because it's like hygiene, like
right. Well, and it like almost celebrates being basic. It's like it celebrates like that's one thing I think that girl does really well, is it doesn't like shame your likes and wants. Like it says you should do everything you want to do, and like for some people that's like, it's also so tough because it's like not a trend created by a corporation or entity. Like this is just an organic trend that people are participating in. So you can't really put a clear definition on that girl, because I could post a video being that girl today and my that girl could be different than somebody else's. So like the content that you have to dive through to fully understand it is like insane. But I'd say for the majority it's like, well, it takes away that like wanting to pit people against each other. I think we still have the internal like you should be that girl. It's almost like pitting yourself against yourself, which is what I think is detrimental. But it's like less detrimental than like other trends where even like women would be super misogynistic towards each other, being like, oh, well, I do what the guys like, and so I'm a guy's gal and I'm gonna be with the guys. Like sometimes it's not even like a male influence that's like making women pit each other against ourselves this way. So I think it's really healthy in that sense, but then it's also like, to me it raises questions of like, is this contributing to, I mean, we've become super, super ingrained in our routines since COVID, and I think it causes a lot of anxiety when we step outside of our routine. So I have lots of questions, and that's like kind of where I'm at with my research. Like I have a million questions that I want to ask and get better answers to, with the end goal of like creating some sort of content that could maybe help or at least help people understand what they're looking at.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think you just made me think out of nowhere just about like, oh, like what could be like better about it, or like what could, because like we've talked about how it can be so great because it's like self-motivating, and it's not like, I feel like it's really not a comparison thing, but it can fall into like, you can fall into the comparison trap with it. But I think if there was more content that was like, because something I've noticed is like, I feel like it's like promoting like hyper productivity, and it like isn't allowing room for like breaks or like mental health and like things like that, or like even when it comes to like eating habits, like where is like I don't know, the whole concept of like a cheat day, which I think that's a weird term, but still, like where is the like doing things outside of like this diet, because I feel like sometimes it promotes a really strict like diet regimen. So I'm almost like, oh, I wish I could see also these people making these videos, posting ones that are like, that girl like takes a rest today, and like that girl didn't go to the gym today because like, you know, I am prioritizing like giving my body rest, or like taking a break, or doing this more like mental activity rather than like all physical like hyper productive things, which is what I hope to see that happen more.
Well, I love that idea because it's almost like it goes back to what both of you were saying about influencers, because it's like most people who are participating in this trend do not have the same kind of commitments, because social media is their commitment, right? Like their job is participating in this trend. So they are working. It just looks like they aren't to us. So then it's like, oh, well, I don't have, like I'm in class from whatever time to whatever time. So it's like I don't have time to just like wake up and film a video every day and like do all these things. But at the same time, like it promotes really good, like I'm happy when I do most of the behaviors that girl does. So it's kind of hard to pin down whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing, and I don't really think it's either.
I feel like I just have like ideas about it, but I'm like, oh wait, I want to know more about what you've found. So what do you think is like one of the most important things that you've learned or have found so far from researching more into that girl?
So I think this almost is like a broader finding and less about that girl. It's partially like, I'd say on one side, I've learned a lot about myself. And on the other side, I've learned a lot about what I want to do with my life. So like, great things. I'd say the first is that I feel like from what I've just learned in preliminary research, again, I have to clarify, like this is not the full-blown research project it could be quite yet, but just in being able to like do the little first steps of research, I've been able to find that it sounds like there could be a connection between having a sense of self kind of counteracting the negative effects of that girl. I found in some of my preliminary research that people who felt like they had a stronger sense of self did not feel as inclined to like feel negatively about themselves if they didn't get all the things they wanted to done. So like essentially kind of like what you were talking about, Sam, like they were able to take the good parts and like not beat themselves up for not doing everything on the check off list that exists. But in a broader sense, I think just being involved in like research as an undergrad and like just being involved in like sorority life in general and just like different things on campus and like not putting all my eggs in one basket, I think I've realized that curiosity is one of the biggest skills you can have in life. And the more curious you are, the more fun you'll have and the more things you'll do. So just even researching something like this that has impacted me has been really useful to be like, wow, okay, now I'm like understanding how I interact with this trend. And then just practicing that skill of curiosity. It's like, that's how I ended up going backpacking this weekend, because I was curious and I wanted to try it. So that's like my biggest life advice, I think, is be curious.
Yeah, and like earlier you were saying that you kind of like asked your roommates like, oh, have you seen that girl on TikTok? And I'm like, what the heck, no. And like, so that's kind of how you got like curious about it and just like thinking about like that girl. And so from that and like from researching, have you kind of seen more of like the influence of that girl like in your everyday life or like with your friends or like people like on campus or in your chapter or anything?
So I feel like a lot of people actually were really curious about my research and like had questions once I got to talk to them about it, which was really cool because it's again like really in its beginning phases, like, it's just an undergrad project for class. But it, like, starts to feel really real, and I've really enjoyed working on it and answering questions. I think, if anything, I've learned that I think the target group to be worried about is not people of our age category. I think it's younger audiences who don't have that sense of self, because I practice a lot of, interestingly enough, someone who's researching this trend, like, I practice a lot of what that girl promotes. Like, I've been really working hard on, like, trying to make sure I hit the gym when I can, even though I sometimes skip my bar class that I signed up for, because it's kind of hard. And I've tried to, like, cook for myself, and, like, that girl really promotes journaling. I told myself I would journal. My New Year's resolution was to journal every night for this year. I think I stopped on, like, March 7th, and I got back on the train last night, so we're gonna keep trying.
No, that's so good, though.
It's good to, like, get your thoughts out. So I think, hopefully that answers your question. I got lost in my little...
Oh, no, you're totally
talking about it.
I love it. I feel like there's just, like, I was thinking about that too. The idea that it's not really our age group, and then it's younger people. Because, like, I think about myself in middle and high school, and, like, how much I've changed from then. And it's mainly just from, like, life transitions that happen in adulthood. Like, I don't do a lot of the same hobbies anymore. Like, in middle and high school, I danced every day of the week for, like, 5 hours after school.
Same.
So it's like, I'm trying to picture, like, what would I have done in middle and high school had this trend, like, happened then. And I'm, like, trying to think if there was a similar trend at all, and I almost feel like, just in general, being, like, young and impressionable, and the fact that, like, social media was, like, really taking off. Like, I watched a lot of YouTubers and a lot of, like, people on Instagram, so I'm like, did I, like, try and do anything? I don't know.
Sam, I love that you brought up dance, because I think that's also something that, like, is part of my past. Like, I used to be a competitive dancer, and I think with that girl trend promoting such strict behavior, dance is, like, a very strict sport or activity, whatever you wish to call it. And so I feel like I was really, like, from a young age, really involved in diet culture, which was not healthy for me. And I think even though, like, that girl as an adult, like, as a 22-year-old who, like, has a sense of self, I can be like, oh, these are the things I want to do, these are the things I don't. I think, like, middle school Bailey would have been taking notes and would have been like, I need to be at, you know, I used to watch Dance Moms, like, in my head, like, I need to be at the top of the pyramid, like.
That's the other thing with dance, too, is I feel like, not only, because I definitely relate, that, like, from a young age, like, you are very, like, you're a lot more, but, like, self-conscious, like, body conscious, like, diet conscious, and it comes from that environment of, just, like, I don't know, comes from, like, different things, like, if you had, like, a teacher who kind of, like, promoted things or whatnot, but I also feel like the difference between, like, what I may have experienced when I was younger in dance and pageants and things versus now with the that girl trend was, like, with dance and pageants, it was always very, like, everything you could compare to someone else. Like, even though they're your best friends, you are always being compared to somebody else. Whereas with, like, that girl, it's very much just you. Which, like, you said that earlier, like, it pits you against yourself to be improving, which definitely I know for me is a lot healthier than other people.
Well, and that's what's, like, healthy about it, and that's why I do, like, I have a love-hate relationship with it, because it's, like, okay, obviously, like, I don't love putting women into categories, and I think there's a lot of critique that can happen, like, okay, how often are you seeing that girl that doesn't fit a certain body type, or has a certain skin tone? I mean, it's so hard to tell, because it's, like, am I just getting people who look a certain way because it's my For You page, and are other people getting different people? Or is it just not as diverse as it could be? It's, like, so hard to tell because everybody's getting different content, and, you know, you ask, like, is this affordable? Is this, like, it's interesting to understand, like, is this, what I like about that girl trend is it's outside of a partner. So whereas, like, other, like, female stereotypes have played into, like, being kind of exclusionary of the LGBTQ plus community, that girl, I haven't quite decided yet. I mean, it does promote a certain, like, fashion sense, and like it does promote like looking a certain way, I feel like, but it doesn't do so directly. And so it's kind of piqued my curiosity, like if it were to move forward into like LGBTQ plus studies, like is this inclusive to all kinds of women and people, and why is it just for women? Like why isn't there not
That
this
guy.
for men? Yeah, why is there not that guy, like, or that person? Like,
yeah.
you know, it's hard because niche interests can never quite, like, obviously people categorize themselves and that's how we're interested in certain things, but I think in the pursuit of equity and inclusion, it raises a lot of questions. And again, here I am answering your question with, I have questions.
But that's really, like, I feel like that's a good place to be, is, like, recognizing that, like, you can't just answer it. Like, you can't just answer, like, what it is, because it could be all kinds of things. And, like, the idea that, like, yes, there is kind of a certain aesthetic with it, but I feel like that's solely because it's being put out through, like, video content, and it's whatever is trendy right now. And it's just the fact that, like, minimalistic things are trendy, or, like, Skims is trendy, and, like, claw clips are trendy. Like, so of course everything's gonna have, like, that same, or, like, the shot of them, like, pouring their matcha in their cup. Like, it's because matcha's so trendy. Like, it's not because it's, like, that's what you need to be that girl. It's just, like, whatever's trendy in the moment is gonna be there. But this is such a tangent, but I feel like, to me, when I'm trying to, like, picture it, and I'm like, what are ways that, like, I see this for myself, is maybe, like, younger me would be, like, proud of, like, my habits now. Or it's kind of like calling yourself that girl, I feel like it's not saying you're, like, above anyone else or you're cooler than anyone else, but it's, like, it's that girl that younger you wanted to be, almost.
I completely agree with that, and that's where the love part of the love-hate relationship comes in, because it's, like, even when you're saying earlier, like, being basic is something that used to be so frowned upon when I was
like
younger.
a Visco girl.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Nobody wanted to be a Visco girl, but, like, so they just made it a joke.
Yeah, but then it's like, okay, well, now matcha's super popular. Like, that's just one example. And it's like, no one's being shamed for liking it. It's like, it makes you want to like the things you're doing and, like, romanticize your life, which, of course, romanticizing things is only healthy to a certain extent. But I don't know. I think I certainly, in my, like, opinion outside of professional research, think it's a move in a healthy direction. I still think there's things to work on, and I still don't quite understand how it might be impacting a younger audience, because I have 3 younger sisters, so seeing the way that they kind of, like, really look up to trends versus how me as a 22-year-old, like, I just pick and choose which ones I like. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, no, I should ask my sister about it, because she's a junior in high school, so I'll see if, like, she even, like, knows what it is, or, like, her friends, but, and, like, we, like, Sam and I, other people who, like, who see your social media and stuff, like, know you, like, had a mentor with this, like, how, like, was she in this project for you? Like, how did she help you with it?
So it's really awesome. I work with a mentor, and I have for a long time, just on different projects, and I think what's really great about it, and advice I would give to anyone in school, no matter, like, what level, is, like, don't be afraid to be, oh, this is great. I think her name is Elise Myers. She's a TikToker.
Oh, I love her.
And she was saying something the other day about feeling like she's too much. And you know what? Like, don't be afraid to be too much. So I think for a while I really put myself down, because I was like, people are, like, making fun of me, calling me, like, teacher's pet, whatever. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, you know what? This is where I want to work, and, like, people that could, like, get me a job in the future, people who are inspiring me, and, like, pushing me. And my research mentor is definitely one of those people that I'm like, wow, I look up to you so much. Like, I want to learn as much as possible from you. And I think to save ourselves embarrassment sometimes, we, like, don't want to put ourselves in those situations, because we're like, oh, like, well, none of my other peers are, like, doing stuff outside of class. Like, I mean, you could say the same about just even being on the Panhellenic Council. Like, some people don't think that's, like, quote unquote, like, the cool thing to do, but it's like, I'm enjoying learning. So I really just got involved, I want to say, like, 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago now. Just started doing independent study for her, and it started as a project that she proposed, and then now it's just turned into, we found that we work well together, and it's really awesome because I feel like it gives me the opportunity to challenge myself in a different way that other classes haven't, like, you know, because when you get one-on-one time, somebody can, like, give you their full feedback and be like, hey, this is where I think you can push yourself harder. So that's kind of how that's been going.
That's so nice. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I just think, like, having a mentor is, like, so good. I mean, I don't have one. But, like, I've been told I should get one. Like, just for life. But, like, I think that's, like, so good because, like, then it's not just you working on this project. Like, you have someone be like, I can't do this right now. And they're like, yeah, you can. You absolutely can. And just, like, there to, like, be the push or, like, be, like, the motivation you need, like, in times where it's, like, so hard. But exactly what it is, like, a mentoring.
Yeah, I think this is, like, totally, I need to, like, cut myself to a couple seconds to talk about this because this could throw us into, like, a whole new tangent. But I really struggle with imposter syndrome. So you said it exactly right. Like, having someone to say you can do this and, like, you are doing it, like, I'll look at my own work and be like, this is, like, not that important. Like, this is not that great. Like, I could do better because I'm always, like, internally pushing myself. So it's good to have someone, and, like, even my friends and roommates, like, all of the people around me are so supportive. Like, most of my friends came to watch my presentation or, like, wished me luck if they couldn't be there. And I just had never felt so, like, loved in my life because I was like, wow, these people, even though this topic may not be of, like, direct interest to them, like, they're interested in pushing me forward and, like, keeping me going. So I think that's, like, a great piece of having just people in your circle, whether it be, like, a research mentor and people, like, in the school, or if it's just your friends and your family, like, being like, hey, you're doing good. Like, you're doing great. Keep going.
Yeah. Like, Sam and I have talked about imposter syndrome a lot. We're like, oh my gosh, this is a yeah, we're podcasters, but also we're not, like, real podcasters. Or, like, this is just for fun. And, like, I... like doing, like, H3R stuff and working on, like, graphics and stuff, and, like, sending to Sam and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, these are, like, awful, and, like, she, like, changes them around to, like, make them look good. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you, they look so good now. And they're like, and she's like, Issa, they weren't bad. Like, it's just the way I like to see things. I'm like, okay, but it's okay to say that they're bad. And she's like, no, they weren't bad. And so, like, I totally get you on that, and it's hard. And so, like, that's where I feel like that girl is a good thing, because it's like, okay, like, yeah, I'm doing these things to better myself, and while I might start as, like, imposter syndrome, like, oh, I'm not that girl, yeah, I'm not that girl, I'm not that girl, but then, like, doing it and making those habits, it's like, oh wait, I am that girl. And kind of, Sam, like what you were saying earlier, it's like, okay, it's not that girl in comparison to other people, but it's that girl what your younger self would want to be and would want to see.
That's the content that I love, and it, like, splits into, you know, it just varies video to video which one's encouraging which, because I've definitely seen the encouragement of both. Like, some that girl videos do kind of encourage, like, you should, or, like, even I've seen, like, the niche part of it. It's not labeled under that girl, but I see a lot of videos where it's, like, women who have, like, maybe been broken up with, and it's like, you should make him regret everything.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, you're not doing that for yourself. Like, that's not really helping you in the long run. You're, like, not gonna feel those feelings later. Like, so I think it's the best of that girl is wanting to be that girl for yourself. And it's totally empowering. Like, who doesn't want to wake up that morning and be like, I am that girl. I am her. I am the moment.
I feel like, and you kind of brought it up a little bit earlier about how, like, with the pandemic, we've all been, like, set in routines. And it just made me think of, I almost feel like some of the original, like, stems of something similar to that girl is, like, the beginning of the pandemic, like, the way that, like, everybody kind of learned to celebrate small accomplishments of, like, mundane daily tasks and, like, routines. So, like, the way that, like, every TikTok would just be like, oh, like, my day is made because I've gone on my daily walk. Like, I feel like, and even now, the hot girl walk, everything.
I love the hot girl walk.
I love a hot girl walk.
Oh, it makes my day.
I do have a hot girl walk playlist and another one too that's just a gym playlist, so it's like an updated hot girl walk playlist. But I feel like that is one of the ways it can be really healthy is, like, although people might be putting things in their videos that to you is unrealistic, I feel like it's a way of them celebrating the small things, like the little things, like making your bed, like getting up. I don't make my bed.
I make my bed.
I want to.
Oh, see, that girl has made me make my bed, and it makes me a lot happier because I used to never make my bed, like, was not great about cleaning my room. So it, like, helps because it's like I've gotten better at it, but then it definitely has that fall of, like, okay, now I've started feeling like it's weird because I used to not care so much about cleanliness. Like, I'd say I used to put myself in, like, the middle of the scale. Like, not dirty, not the cleanest, not the most organized, but definitely not, like, gross. Like, just kind of in the middle. Like, things are good enough. And now I see all these cleaning videos on my TikTok. They're not even, like, that girl TikToks, but they're, like, these people, like, speed cleaning their house. I don't know if you guys get those, but I get them all the time. And I've just been paying a lot of attention to, like, making myself happy. But then there's some days that, like yesterday or the day before when I came back from my backpacking trip and we, like, got back late. And so I was like, okay, my bed's not made. Like, nothing's ready. It starts to feel like everything's falling apart much more than it used to when I had a dirty room. So, like, it definitely, that's where it, like, piques my interest of, like, how are we, like, self-punishing when we don't. It kind of, like, is like how self-love culture has a toxic side to it of, like, yeah, you should love yourself every day, but what about, like, the days that you're feeling upset? Like,
Yeah.
maybe just being okay with yourself is enough sometimes. Like, maybe we can't all wake up and, like, just, you know, I want to practice mindfulness and appreciating the little things, which is, like, my favorite part, but then it's also, like, show yourself kindness like you would a friend on those days where maybe you aren't able to, like, be the best you can be. I think that's the important part that you said it earlier, Sam. I wish there was also, like, the twofold of, like, having that girl takes a day off or that girl's having a rough time.
I just feel like when you think of, like, any possibly positive trend, like when you think of body positivity, self-love, like all these things, everything is always going to be a double-edged sword in that way, because there is, like, truly no such thing as, like, 100% positivity all the time and, like, always good days. And I think a lot of influencers have, like, made strides to try and show, like, their bad days and not just show the good moments. Like, you know, all the vloggers are always like, you see, like, 30% of my days, like, I want to start showing you more real things and that I have these human emotions, that I get sad and cry and have bad days, whatever. But I feel like that's why I think we can't say, like, it's healthy or not healthy, because all of these things are going to be, like I said, a double-edged sword. So, like, you just have to be open to talking about kind of, like, those fallbacks and, like, the self-punishing and things like that. So, like, it can be really, really positive, but, like, just as something can be really positive, it can quickly be the opposite, I guess. So I just feel like we just need to be open and, like, showing it and, like, having transparency within this trend.
Well, and that's where, like, that girl is really healthy for people who have that, like, level of, like, self-awareness, because I know for me, like, I'm aware that it has that impact, and so it doesn't, like, bother me as much. Like, last night, I could not get everything done I wanted to, but I was like, okay, over anything, I just, like, need some sleep. And so I just went to bed, and I was like, you know, don't beat yourself up. Like, just go to bed. Like, do what you need to do, and, like, tomorrow's a new day, and, like, think if you're mindful about those things. I'm really big mindfulness gal. Headspace is a really great app for anyone who hasn't used it.
I've always wanted to use it.
It's really good if you're a student. It's, like, a crazy discount. I think I paid, like, $10 for a year. And I love
that's, like,
it.
so good.
Yeah, I love it. But, yeah, no free ads. But it's nice, I think, bringing, like, awareness to, like you were saying, Sam, like, I love, like, I've started, like, getting myself flowers.
Cute.
I love it because it makes my room feel fresh. Like, it's something I'm doing just for me, and that's something, like, that girl totally influenced me to do. So take the good stuff, like, take it and run with it, but don't beat yourself up if you can't just, like, have every minute of every day be good. Like, you can't have rainbows without rain.
Yeah. I mean, I think also, like, it kind of way backtracking back to, like, that girl kind of falling into the comparison game or comparison trap, like, whatever you want to call it, like, comparisons, like, that, not when you're, like, directly comparing can be healthy, but, like, I think it can be healthy in the way where it's, like, even on your worst day, like, other people will look at you as that girl. And, like, even, like, 10 years ago, like, I feel like my younger self would probably look at my today self as that girl, like, whether I really want to think so or not. I'm like, I'm in college, I'm about to graduate, like, I'm doing all these things, like, I'm doing so many more things than I ever would have thought. I'm, like, super involved with sorority. I'm, like, have a podcast, and I didn't even know that I would like them up until, like, 2 years ago. And so I think there is that aspect of it where it's, like, and I don't think it's, like, comparison necessarily, but I don't know the exact word for it. Like, kind of like a role model, almost. It's like, you are that girl to someone else, and, like, there's always going to be that girl for you in your life. Like, that someone else is that girl to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, role models are super healthy to have. I think, like, that's where, like, this is one of the healthiest trends I've seen in a long time when it comes to having, like, female role models. Because, for example, like, one of my friends said she saw a video of, like, she really wants to do the Pacific Coast Trail. I think that's what it's called, the PCT.
Yeah.
So she's been seeing a lot of PCT videos on her TikTok, and she was saying that really inspired her. And so things like that, like, you need people to inspire you. Like, you should surround yourself with friends who inspire you. You should have, like, mentors, whether they're even, like, your parents who inspire you, like, people to support you. So I think if you take that girl as an inspiration and, like, apply it to yourself in a healthy way that works, that's, like, kind of what I've been doing. And honestly, like, I've seen a big increase in my level of, like, you know what? Like, I am that girl. Like, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I'm doing cool stuff. Like, younger me would be proud. And I think when you're younger you can't see that. And that's where that research aspect is, like, really important. But when you're older, you're like, wow, that, you know, like, I am becoming who I always wanted to be. And that, or if you're not, like, being empowered to change that and be like, you know what? I don't have to live my life by anyone else's rules. And I think that's really healthy. I also think with research, my, like, one thing I want to say is a lot of people say, like, curiosity killed the cat. And I love telling people that that's not the whole phrase. The whole phrase is curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. And so I think that that's something where, like, we're afraid to be curious and we're afraid to try new things. But, like, throw yourself out there. My favorite phrase ever, YOLO. You only live once, so just, like, use it. That's, like, I hate to say it's the dumbest, like, silliest advice, because it's totally a meme, and it's totally an outdated meme by, like, 10 years, but you really only do live once, so why would you spend your time, I mean, of course you have to make sacrifices, like, you can't have every day be perfect, but, like, why would you spend your time not loving yourself and not being who you want to be? And if you want to be that girl, like, wake up and be your own version of that girl, and you'll feel a lot better, I think.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I feel like it almost even, like, for me, because, like, I'm thinking even more about, like, oh, like, I've recently tried to, like, on days where I have a lot of schoolwork to do, I've, like, been, like, training my brain to not get, like, upset with myself when I still want to, like, read for an hour before bed, or, like, I still want to, like, go get coffee, or, like, do things like that, or I want to take, like, time to make, like, a graphic for the podcast Instagram or something. Like, I'm like, oh, like, I shouldn't be doing this and putting off my more important priorities and doing these fun things, but then I'm like, no, like, I'm doing it for myself, and this is, like, fun things, and it's bringing me fulfillment. So I think that's almost a little bit into that girl, like, oh, I'm realizing, like, wait, I do that, though. Like, when I have all these things I stack on my plate, like, I'm not shaming myself for maybe not being the most productive or something. So, I don't know. Just
I like that.
So many little pockets of it. I don't know.
That's where it gets really exciting, and that's where, like, I could talk. You could have me talk probably, like, from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. because there's so many different, like, parts of it and moving pieces. But I think, like, the big takeaway is just, like, take what you want and leave what you don't. And make sure whatever you're taking is, like, something that's bettering you. And that if not, like, I'm sure that girl is a trend that will be gone soon enough and something new will take its place and
Right.
we just keep going.
It's really interesting too, I think. I'm now going to be like watching intensely to see how it expands and like if it hits like a peak and then fizzles out, because it's just now kind of creeping onto YouTube more. Because before, I feel like the only YouTube videos were people critiquing it, and now when like I look it up, I see a bunch of, they're mainly fitness videos. They're mainly like that girl workout routine, because it is people who make fitness videos, and so they're like, you know, feeding into like the trend, because you know, you always want to make your titles trendy and things, because like YouTube, yes, there's an algorithm and you get things recommended, but it's a lot of just like what are people searching, rather than like TikTok, however the magical algorithm works.
Yeah, whatever they do there.
They feed you exactly what like fits your interest. Sometimes what doesn't. Sometimes, you know, you gotta hit the not interested. But
I hit that button all the time. Like, I have a nice algorithm here.
I'm trying to get off of Mormon BYU TikTok, but
no,
I've been on there for so long.
I get really strange things. I got this guy who, this is very
I'm excited.
This guy who like, his whole persona is dressing like this scary clown.
Oh,
and
I don't like that
it
at
was
all.
like, people say that when you have a split tongue, you can taste two things at once. And so he has like his tongue split, and he had two little like shot glasses filled with different liquids, and just like split his tongue and like dipped it in. And I skipped it so fast because I was like, but then I had to go back to it and like send it to people, because it's like, if I had to see it, you do too.
I've seen like similar videos. I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, can they?
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, I'm sure, but also like,
I feel like they can.
I'm not gonna split my tongue, but I am curious.
I wish you could see like the face that me and Issa were making at Sam, just being like, what? What is this? Like,
no.
Hey, curious. Curiosity's important.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that curiosity would kill like me being the cat. Curiosity would kill the cat in that.
Yeah, that might be enough for me. But no, it is interesting. Going back to what you're saying though, YouTube is definitely a different place, and I know on TikTok I've already seen like the opposite trend starting, which is that party culture is coming back.
Yeah.
That girl kind of like promotes a sober lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been seeing like these people being like, I'm not gonna be that girl. Like, I'm gonna grind through my 9 to 5 and party all weekend, like Friday till Sunday. And it's like, I don't know how I feel about that, because like personally I don't think I could handle like that kind of lifestyle and still get enough rest and like be healthy and like be physically healthy. But it's also like, I can see where people are frustrated with what that girl's promoting and being like, actually, like, I don't care about my fitness regimen. Like, I just want to do my work and go home, and like sometimes I want to get fast food and I want to go out with my friends, and like, I don't know. So I think you have to be aware of it. Personally, out of the two, I think that girl is definitely like promoting like a work on yourself, whereas the other one is like kind of promoting just like do whatever you want. And both of those fit into my like YOLO mindset. But I think we can easily fall down the self-help hole, and I know I do this too, where I just like read a lot of self-help books, and that can like start to like weigh on you. So I think it's good to like be mindful of all aspects, like, you know, be that girl and work on yourself, but like take a couple days off to not work on yourself every now and then, because if you're always working on yourself, you might start to like lose track of like who that person you're working on is.
Yeah. I feel like there's burnout in that in a way, and it's also like if you are every single day focused on what's the best you, I feel like sometimes it just becomes so individualized that like you maybe like forget about like the people in your life that you have like relationships with and you want to be like social with. So sometimes I feel like it's easy to just like be so caught up in you that you aren't paying attention to the people you care about. So I feel like sometimes you just gotta say, oh, this is my day for all my friends, and this is my day for me. Because it's okay to like not want to go out with your friends and to stay in and like hang out with yourself, because like that's me. I'm a homebody through and through. But like also, I don't know, to recognize when you can kind of step back.
Well, that's true too, because I think that girl promotes a lifestyle also like outside of the social life. which I think you should have, like, both. But I'm also the same where, like, I'm more on the introverted. I come off very extroverted because I'm very, like, friendly, very talkative. Like, I could talk to anyone and probably, like, just chat life stories. But then I recharge by being at home and, like, having those mindful times that, like, things that I've realized in the past year that are really important to me are, like, having time to, like, make my bed and, like, have my room be put away before I go to bed and make a meal that I've been, like, looking forward to eating that's, like, healthy but also, like, not so health focused that I'm, like, counting calories or, like, caring what I'm eating, but just, like, something that's gonna fuel my body that's not just, like, me eating Cheez-Its in my bed with, like, a messy room. Would you have to do both? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did that the other night. You have to, like, do both.
I was like, did you just watch me? Because I genuinely did that last week.
I just saw this girl and she was, like, pointing to the side of her bed, like, you know the gap between your nightstand and your bed? Yeah. She was like, this is my Cheez-It pocket, and that's, like, where she keeps her box. And that was where my Cheez-It box was when I was, like, watching her video, and I was like, are you me right now? Like, this is a little too targeted TikTok. Yeah. Like, are you looking through my camera?
Like, I can guarantee there is a bag of colored goldfish on my nightstand right now.
I sleepwalked the other day, like, maybe, like, not really the other day, maybe it was, like, a month ago, and I don't remember it, but I ate my entire bag of, like, peach rings. I, like, got it out of the cupboard.
That's, like, so sad, because, like, you want to be awake for that.
Yeah, I looked and I was like, I woke up next to, like, my empty bag, like, my peach rings bag, and I was like, what monster, like, did this last night? And I don't even remember enjoying them. Like, now I have to buy more. No. So you have to be, like, that. I wish that girl showed that side of our daily lives. Because that stuff is, like, that's normal. Like, maybe not the sleepwalking. I don't know what happened there. That was, like, a one-time thing. I don't usually do that. But, you know, like, you gotta have both, and you gotta have friends, and, like, sometimes you have to sacrifice your routine for your friends, which I feel like that girl has made me have a harder time with that, because I've been so focused on, like, bettering myself that, like, when last minute plans come up, I feel very, like, oh, but, like, I was supposed to sit down and journal for 20 minutes and, like, meditate and do yoga and, like, do whatever. So you gotta find a balance, and I sure have not found it yet, but I feel like I'm getting close, and the more curious and, like, aware I am of, like, what's happening around me, the more intentional I can be about what I'm doing with my life. And then other days I'm intentional about sitting and eating Cheez-Its in my bed, and it feels great.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is so fun. Like, I feel like you can just, like, know, like, because I definitely also, I have no sense of that balance in this moment. But I always think about it as, like, oh, like, I mean, I feel like it might be bad to think in this mindset sometimes, but I'm like, oh, but it's just because, like, school is so much right now. Like, it's the rapid race to graduation, to the finish line, and then, like, then I have time to, like, do these things for myself, and I can spend time to, like, intentionally seek out that balance. So I feel like we're all gonna, like, hopefully have maybe some good that girl soul searching this summer. I don't know. We'll see.
I plan on being my own version, to clarify, of that girl this summer, because I think it's healthy if it's your own version, like, if it's fitting what, because I mean the baseline of what it promotes is being who you want to be, even though like it can fall into different categories of promoting that in ways that might not be healthy, but like, I don't know, I hope to hit the gym this summer like I've been wanting to, and I hope to make new meals and like try new things and have a routine that like makes me feel balanced, because right now my sleep routine is not making me feel balanced. It is quite a mess. So yeah, I think lots of hot girl walks this summer. That's what I'm looking forward to. When it's not snowing outside in April.
I don't even know what to think about. Like, I've talked about it with people every single day. And I'm like, how did it happen? Like, I know how it works. I know it's like the storm came in, whatever, but...
But why?
But why? Why now?
It really is throwing me, like, it throws your, like, body's clock. I've been really interested. I've been trying to be better because, like, I'll work on stuff till late in the night and fall asleep with my lights on, which is, like, really bad for you. and I've started, like, learning about how the seasons and, like, just even, like, how daylight and, like, dark can impact, like, your circadian rhythms. Is that it?
Yeah.
And how that impacts your sleep. And I'm like, wow, I should work on that, because I fall asleep with the lights on all the time, and then I'm like, why am I waking up so grumpy? And then I'm like, oh, it's because you were working on your laptop and you fell asleep unintentionally
with the lights on.
But I think the snow is kind of doing that for me right now, because I think I'm like, wait, I thought all of this was gone. Why is it back? Like, now I don't know what month it is anymore.
I know. I'm so excited to, like, see, like, if you do more, like, what you do, and, like, all these other things, and, like, more of your findings.
Thank you. I think with that girl, it's kind of interesting because it's inspired me to do more research, but it's also inspired me to, like, take more control of my life outside of, like, work or, like, school. So I think in a weird sense, like, that girl is inspiring me to do more research, but it's also inspiring me to be like, okay, actually, like, I need to set boundaries. Like, these are the days I can't answer my email, or, like, the iPhone has, like, really great new, like, do not disturb features where you can, like, kind of customize your do not disturb modes. I don't know if you've seen it, where you can do, like, a personal mode and, like, a work mode.
Oh yeah, I've made a few different ones for myself.
You should teach me. I haven't done it yet. I am really behind. I still don't have, like, widgets or whatever. Like, I have not kept with the times.
Yeah, I've only ever used Do Not Disturb during exams, so maybe I should, like, tap into using it more often.
I just have it on all the time.
Because I'm just, like, very, very glued to my phone, and maybe it's bad, but I also think it's just because a lot of my hobbies revolve around media, and that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world.
That's how I feel, too. Like, so much of me is on my phone, and that's just, like, how it is. But then, after, like, going backpacking this weekend and not having it at all, I think I was like, there are some times that I'm on my phone because I want to be on my phone, and then there's sometimes I feel tied to my phone. I want it to be the first and not the second. But, phones are phones, and we all have them, and we all have them on 24/7, so there's only so much you can do. There's only so much screen time you can reduce.
Wow. So many good conversations.
Yeah, no,
and it's funny because we literally could have kept going for, like, probably 6 more episodes worth of talking.
There was a lot of content to unpack, that's for sure. I feel like that's where I'm like, I could talk about this stuff for, especially with you two. Like, I feel like we always have really great conversation, and, like, I feel like we're all like-minded individuals, and that, like, we all ended up doing similar things, like being involved in a sorority on campus, and, like, even though we're in different sororities, like, I just think there's a lot of similar characteristics that tie us together, and that's why we share so many interests. So it makes for a good conversation. Like, it probably lasts forever.
No, it was so fun, and, like, I learned so much, and I always learn during everything, whether it's, like, just Sam or we have a guest. It's, like, always so fun.
It just reminded me of, like, during recruitment, Bailey and I drove the pan van together on the first day of recruitment.
What a day that was.
So we were together. It was a wild day for the both of us in many ways, but we did that for so long. Like, that was such a long day, and for a lot of it we were just sitting in the van for, like, hours at a time, so we just, like, found all kinds of things to talk about. So I knew we were gonna have a lot to say.
Yeah, I was looking at the questions. I was like, I don't know how, like, I don't know if I can answer so much so fast. Like, I feel like there's so much to unpack. Like, this organic conversation could just, like, happen for so long. And that's how we ended up talking for, like, however long. I eventually had to be like, okay, I'm gonna cut myself off, because I know I could talk forever. Like, we should probably do this while it's recording, but hopefully none of your listeners are too tired of my voice, because I definitely can be a talker.
No, that's how I feel every week. I'm like, I'm so sorry that I talked for 40 minutes, Sam, and you only talked for 20.
No, it'll be really nice, especially for me, like, listening back to this episode, having, like, another voice that's not me and Issa, because I always listen to it on Thursday afternoons between my classes. And I'll be, like, sitting in this park, and I'm like, if people were to, like, know that I'm just listening to myself talk right now, embarrassing. But I can say, like, no, it's not me. I'm listening to Bailey.
Oh, well, I have loved getting to be on this podcast. Again, like I said, big fan of the pod. I think the way that you guys, like, I know you say you were talking about imposter syndrome, but, like, to your listeners, like, this is one of the podcasts that's in my rotation. So,
Oh my god.
I feel like it's something we're always going to struggle with, but just, like, it was so fun being here today. I'm so both looking forward to and nervous to, like, hear my own voice. I think that's, like, always a jump scare. I don't know how you guys do that, but I'm excited, and I've always wanted to have a podcast, so, like, you guys are my idols, and I hope your listeners know that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. I need to be that girl for myself, and I need to do what that girl wants to do, and that girl wants to be a podcaster someday.
That
so.
podcasting
No, I
girl.
would freaking love that. I could listen to a podcast that Bailey talks on.
We'll just listen to each other's all the time. I'll start one. I'll work on it.
Yes, you have to.
It's a project for after graduation for sure.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
It's on my summer list of things to start.
We love to hear it.
Okay, well, I guess final question is, Bailey, what is your song of the week?
Oh, song of the week. I was prepared to be asked this, and then my brain went blank. Can I give, like, two?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, I am a Gracie Abrams stan.
I almost put a Gracie song.
I love this gal. So Stay by Gracie Abrams, because that one's just, like, I'm kind of one of those people that, like, sad music doesn't make me sad. I just kind of like it.
Yep.
So that's a good one. And then I'm trying to, like, come up with something new. Okay, Come On Mess Me Up by Cub Sport is definitely in, like, my heavy rotation of music right now. It's just very, like, makes you feel like you're in an indie movie with, like, a long lost, like, romance. Like, it hits, man. It hits. It's good.
I like the sound of that.
What are your guys' songs of the week?
First of all, I always love having, like, a song, because it's like, oh, I get to hear, like, their music. That's so fun. Sam, what's your song of the week?
My song of the week is That's Where I Am by Maggie Rogers. It's her new song that, like, just came out, and I love it.
I didn't know she had one.
I'm a huge Maggie Rogers fan. I actually was watching, like, conspiracy theories about her new music on on TikTok last night, because people were talking about how they were, like, making theories about who her, like, during COVID, like, songwriting boot camp workshop vibes, like, what big, like, older great artist she was working with, because she said it was, like, her people she looks up to who are, like, 20 years older than her, and there's all these photos of her, like, her with, like, Joni Mitchell and Harry Styles and Brandi Carlile, all these people, so I'm like, ooh. It was very exciting. Yeah. So yeah.
That's fun. My song of the week is Coffee and Contemplation by Nick Howell, and, like, I've heard this song a few times before. I don't know how. It might have come up on, like, my Discover Weekly or something. I don't. One of my Spotify Made For You playlists that they make every single day, which, iconic. Love Spotify for that. Thank you. But, like, I sent it to Sam yesterday. I was like, first of all, love him. Because, like, I thought she would like it. So, hope you did. If you didn't, then that sucks for you, I guess. Okay, cool. Okay. So I was like, first of all, I love him. Second of all, like, he sounds like a young Ross Lynch, like Austin Alley era. And maybe that's just me, but Sam, what do you think?
No, I agree.
Okay, cool.
So you're right. Your assumptions, right.
I was like, is this like a Ross Lynch song I haven't heard? Like, what? And then I was like, nope, it's just a different boy from
different
2022 or 20. I don't know when the song came out, but yeah, Coffee and Contemplation. It's fun. I like it.
Okay, I'm gonna stalk your guys' Spotify. Look out for me listening to your playlist
I'm
tonight.
currently just listening to, like, my indie playlist, like, Mix, whatever it is, or the Make Me Know. But I have been listening to, like, Floor, like, just Floor.
I've been...
So good.
I mean, you wouldn't see it, on like playlists, but I've really only been listening to like every Taylor Swift album to exist because I started a Google Sheet where I am objectively scoring every song.
I want to see this Google Sheet.
It's so good.
I'm kind of okay. We're gonna have to. I need to see it.
Yes. Anyways.
Well, that was so much fun. Bailey, just want to thank you again so much for like coming over and being here and talking to us and with us and just telling us more about your project and also just about like that girl in general. Like it was really, really good.
Well, thank you guys. Like I said, big fan of the pod, happy to be here, and I'm just so excited to like see where this goes for you guys. I feel like it's a great podcast. I'm a big listener, so
Oh my gosh.
I'm just honored. I feel so
You're
excited.
honored. I'm honored. But anyways, everyone else listening, rate and review. You know the drill. Do what you gotta do. Make sure it's no less than 5 stars. JK. Just let us know feedback. Anyways, that was so fun, and I just hope like both you, Sam and Bailey, have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Issa, and likewise to you all.
Bye.
Bye.